Welcome to the FPL USA Press Play Podcast. You got Brian and Bucks here to recap Double Game Week 25 and preview what's to come. Is that right? No. Welcome to the FPL USA Press Play Podcast. It's going to be the third time is a charm here. I'm Bucks, joined by Brian. Chinny, how the hell are you, man?
I'm hanging in, buddy. Had one of our mini league rivals and one of my good friends from growing up. Went to high school and college together. The Run CMC, aka Corey, he came down with his wife for the long weekend and their little baby, who's just 1 day older than mine. So it's chaotic to have multiple babies in the house and trying to get to happy hour and get our espresso martinis on. But we made it all happen. There were not many matches, though, to watch for Premier League over the weekend. We did catch a little FA Cup action, got a couple, predictions going on Kelshi and all the rest here that you can finally mess around with in California. But other than that, man, all good. It's pouring rain. I'm heading to LA today. Going to go take some clients to the new Intuit Dome where the All-Star game for NBA was just at. We'll see how snazzy this place is, but we're going to see Jokic play tonight. So pretty excited about that. What's going on with you, hombre?
Listen, successful daddy daycare. That's a big notch on your tool belt. So congratulations to you, and I hope you and Corey had a great time together with your lovely families. It's nice to have the mini league come off the online FPL chats and into the IRL, into our hearts to hang out in the real world.
I'm gonna come see you in New York once again.
Ooh, can't wait. I'll be out by you this summer. So we're going to have to do a little play date when that happens. For me and my family, we are all doing well. Thank God. We had a really nice weekend without FPL. So skip the entire FA Cup action. And listen, we used Chip in Double Game Week 26. It was fine. I got a green arrow. So. I'm back in my preferred spot as the best manager on our humble program, as I have pipped one Black Wolf. Dan, you're looking up at me, baby, and this big dad bod tush, because I am 1 point to the good. Eat my dust, baby.
Crushing him. Yeah, maybe we should have, triple captained Rice instead of Gabriel, but you can't talk too much smack to Dan because his Wolverhampton pups were the ones that just ruined the triple captain dreams.
No, they might have saved the sport. They might have ruined the FPL points, but they might have saved the Premier League from hours and hours of tireless tribulations about how amazing this Arsenal team is and Arteta, he's a genius. Nope, not so fast. All right, before we go any further, let's dive into how our teams did in Double Game Week 26. Brian, I'm going to cede the floor to you. You're coming off the back of a couple whopper captaincy decisions. Did you go ultra differential? Did you use a chip? Remind our listeners.
We did use a chip. We used a triple captaincy on Gabriel and netted 7 extra points.
And just so the listeners know, Brian, this is your better or worse or triple captains of the season? Which one?
My last 3 triple captain chips have not really gone all that well. Last year I had Isak in the double game week. He came away with 11 points, but left like 2 goals on the table in that one. So that one stuck with me because I was really trying to capitalize my dream season. So that was a bit of a bummer. But this season, 2 points from Holland versus Leeds. 7 points for a triple cap Gabriel in a double game week. Pretty fucking shitty. No clean sheets. No bonus. No DEFCON.
Yep.
But yellow cards. So, and honestly, he could have been ripped off with the red card in the first match. So.
Yeah, we're burying the lead a little bit because 7 points. If you would have heard that before the game week started, you would have been like, I'm going to deactivate this chip right away. Like, let's make sure the deadline hasn't passed. Let's hope there's a little glitch and we could just deactivate the chip. But having watched that Brentford match, he really should have gotten a second yellow card and been sent off. And of course, Arsenal don't have a clean sheet there. Then they play Wolves They are the first ever Premier League leaders to be 2-0 up to the bottom relegation bound side at halftime, and then not complete and get the 3 points. So they draw 2-2 in extra time. The dark arts backfire against Arsenal. And yeah, so it was actually despite FPL not being so great for the points, at least for us two, I think it was a pretty fun,
good for the league,
extended game week, right? I mean, a lot happened. It felt like we haven't seen the Premier League in forever. And yet, we'll be right back on the weekend. And the stakes are even higher than they were, 36 hours ago. It's great.
Yeah, so I got, let's see. Without captaincy, I got 11 fucking points from my Arsenal triple up on defense. Saliba, illness, misses the first game. He comes away with a 1-pointer. And you'd like to think, oh, maybe they clean if he plays, that type of mojo. And then Timber, 3 points. Gabriel, 7. And I think Declan Rice outscored all 3 of those players combined. So we're
not great,
nailing it. I also had Palmer in my side. He's got 3 pens in 2 game weeks. Fucking love that, but was not enough for a green arrow. I was 2 points under my safety score. So we keep it moving. I rolled the transfer. I like to see that I played Mane for the 4-pointer. 2 blanks, 4 points, the hard way. How'd you do?
That's like an and one T-shirt, right? Put 2 points the hard way, something like that, for like a pickup game joke. Right. I did all right. Listen, Green Arrow, 69 points all out. At one point, when Arsenal still had the clean sheet, I was at like 91 points, and I was like, "Ooh, baby, I am spicy meatball here."
Oh, you checked your score too.
It's all come back around. And then I went, ooh, right off the cliff into the spiky, shallow waters. And listen, triple captain Gabriel didn't go great, but listen, I take a green arrow. I had Rice. He would have been the better triple captain option. Honestly, there's like 4 or 5 other guys like João Pedro. He would have been a better captaincy pick. But that's being a hindsight merchant. I think all in all, like, us triple captainers need to be like brushing our shoulders off, thanking our lucky stars that honestly Gabriel didn't see that red card in the first match, because it would have been a Duke Dennis kind of repeat scenario there with the kind of single name FPL players as triple captains, just absolutely hitting us in the plums.
The plums. Did someone crush it from our hashtag FPL USA press play Palooza League? Who was the big high score that outdid both of us this week, Bucks?
Yeah, we got to check that out right here live on the podcast. Look at this. You're seeing the production in real time. We got American Eagle. Gah! 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 Congratulations to Vicky Devis. Vicky, triple captaining Declan Rice for your old 96-pointer. Love to see that. Congratulations to Vicky. Way to top our mini league. Oh, but listen, you go even deeper into the wormhole. Holy cannoli, we should shout out a second manager. Andre Civic 9W with the old 105-pointer. Whoa. Triple digits. Let's clap it up for them. They had Jose Sa, who, of course, was the top scorer of double game week 26, as everyone predicted, with the old 13-pointer. Then we had Gabriel, triple captain. Malik Fiao, I hate you, sir, 11-pointer. Semenyo, 14 points. Rice, 14 points. Palmer, 12 points.
Mascara for 9
oh, my goodness. What a team. Andre.
Well done.
Yeah, 105 points. Nice. Very nice.
Not bad. Semenyo, that's a player that, man, we each had him earlier in the season, and we thought, he's going to City. Who knows with Pep Roulette? He is just continuing to play second striker and shoot less, but get way higher quality chances. So that is a player that we both moved off of. And I think that's probably one of Blackwolf's best picks of the year. He's kept Semenyo through and through, and it's helped him aim for a top 100K finish.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? But speaking of Black Wolf, he will be back on our program soon enough. But as he continues to be MIA, I would just like to fluff my own feathers here for a sec. And with my 69-point fine score in game week 26, I'm now the best manager on the podcast. 1 point to the good over you, Dan. So you got to
Wow,
come
how
back
many
on the
times are you going
podcast
to
to
mention
right
this,
set those
Buzz?
jujus, baby, or else you're going to
How
be
many
looking at
times are
it
you going
this
to
dad
mention this
bod.
in a 25-minute podcast? All right, that's enough of
Yeah,
that.
come on.
All right, let's move forward here. I'm really curious as to how we're going to start building for blank game week 31, which is still around the corner. So
Yeah,
I have a
exactly.
lot
So
of eggs in the Arsenal defense and on Chelsea. So I'm going to have to use some of my free transfers coming up soon to deal with those players. But what are you thinking here over this next kind of 4-game stretch here? And who are the teams that you're kind of aiming? I think Brentford is one that we should definitely talk about. They have a great run of fixtures all the way up to like 35, and so some people are obviously on Thiago. I'm not at this moment, but that's a good pick. What are you thinking about Django, Sade, even their defense? I think that's some interesting, quote unquote, kind of differentials to use your transfers on versus those popular top kind of 6 teams that we usually target.
yeah, so I'm going to take a quick half step back. Just as a reminder, blank game week 31 is confirmed. It will be Arsenal, Wolves, Man City, and Crystal Palace will all not play in 31. And that's really important because, those players will not have fixtures and will get 0-point auto subs where the rest of the league will have matches. We don't know any of the double game week confirmed as of yet. So at this moment in time, kind of all of your planning needs to be about how do you navigate blank game week 31? Are you going to use free transfers? Are you going to use a free hit chip? Are you going to use other chips? What's the plan? So once you settle on that, then you can kind of start making a recipe on how you're going to get all the way to 31. So you just mentioned your team not best setup. Mine definitely isn't. I have Holland, I have Munoz, I have triple Arsenal. So I have 5 guys, as well as the Chelsea fixtures swing, which is going to the bad now after this Burnley game in 27. So I think I just said 5 plus, I have 8 guys that are all kind of like slated to be on the chopping block. So I'm kind of actually thinking of ditching my previous strategy of holding the wild card for 32. I was just tinkering around before we jumped on this podcast about maybe hitting the wild card before game week 28, trying to be a little aggressive to gain some rank in the short term. So again, you need to settle your strategy before you make your plan. But big picture, you mentioned Brentford. I think they're a team that's coming into focus. Bournemouth is another one that has really good fixtures coming up.
Yep.
And Aston Villa. So those 3 teams kind of go, and Liverpool. So those 4 teams really are the ones that are going to go from kind of choppy waters when it comes to the FDR, the fixture ticker, towards kind of seas of green and just like nice farmland as far as the eye can see. So I have 0 players from, I think, those 4 teams, which means that there's a lot of room for improvement in my roster right now, to say the least.
Yeah, I would say, Morgan Rogers is one person from Villa. Maybe if you need a cheap defender, you could go there, but I don't love it. Bournemouth, Hill. Oh my goodness, this guy just hauling ass on my bench
Yeah, 4
every single
million.
week. I picked him on wild card. I went with 2 3.9 defenders, and man, he's got 9, 7, and 9, I think, in his last 3. So definitely a startable asset against West Ham.
And he's the DEFCON monster. He's what he's getting the DEFCON now more than Senesi. So
that's right.
I think he's almost a must start
there. Yeah, and then Rayan has scored 2 and 2 so far after coming into the side. I think
he's the first.
Mil.
He's the first ever Brazilian player to come and score 3 attacking returns in their first 3 Premier League matches. So he's very impressive. Only 19. Going back to Brentford, I think Thiago is the most obvious pick. He could be a captaincy in some of these game weeks as a differential. I don't love Dango as much as I like Shad. And the reason is because it's going to be Ramadan. This is important that you do a little bit more research here to see which players are going to be fasting and then breaking their fast mid-game. Dango historically has had less great performances during Ramadan for obvious reasons. He's a professional athlete playing against the best footballers in the world, and he's not eating or drinking before the match. So, of course, that's going to impact his energy levels. So I think if I was going to get a Brentford triple up, I would probably want to have, Shad and Thiago, and then I'd pick either Kelleher, maybe this Coyote guy who gets the long balls, or maybe Lewis Potter is kind of the, you bank on one out of position start for him, and he's looked brilliant. So a lot of cheap ways into an overall good
I don't
team.
think Potter he's not starting every match, so you do run that risk too if you bring him in that he's not going to even play. So lots of one-pointers potential with him. I don't know. For me, Brentford defense, like, they're fine, but I feel like they're always good to give up a goal. So I won't be going there. I would rather go for Dango Shade or Thiago and just skip the defense. Like, they're not going to be highly owned, and they're not, they're fine. They're an average team that they'll structurally maybe put themselves in a few opportunities to keep clean sheets, but they're not going out here and parking the bus by any means. So I would definitely rather go for Hill on Bournemouth. I would look at maybe a cheap defender. I know Black Wolf has Cash, who's been actually doing pretty well this season for him, and he's like 4.6. So I think he might be injured though. I can't remember if he picked up.
He hurt himself.
Yeah, so there's a few other players scooting around, but run for defense just doesn't get me up in the morning.
No, it's not an exciting pick, but
Liverpool
definitely
defense though.
I was going to say Van Dijk. He heard us slagging him, and he said, "Hold my beer."
Christ.
Can you believe he was the highest point scorer in double game week? I have a little bit of egg on my face on that one for sure.
Yeah, you can wipe that off, and we don't need to ever view it again. Just put that egg in the trash can. We know our takes on VVD around here this season, from IRL plus me owning him for way too long. So,
all right, I do want to just take
him to the fiery depths of hell.
Yes, and listen, we loved seeing Wolves, really have a double game week to remember for their fans. We won't be seeing them much in the Premier League next season, but one team we will have to suffer through seeing more of is these fuckers at Crystal Palace. And God damn it, what they did to me should not be shown on national television, let alone to anyone without an NSFW warning, because they stuck it in me and it hurt. And they didn't even buy me dinner first. They hurt me. It was bad.
You transferred Munoz in
for Nico O'Reilly, only to then bench Malik Thiaw, who had an 11-pointer.
How many points did you end up with for Munoz? 1?
I think 0. Not how I drew it up.
Nope, not how you drew it up. You know who else stuck it in me? As long as we're talking about unauthorized access points.
Yeah,
I felt like I sat on a cactus with this Bob the Monster fucking Sanchez pick. Oh my God. He is a piece of shit, let me tell you. At least I get to hate watch him, even though I want Chelsea to win. He's just garbage on top of garbage.
No, it was. I don't know. I don't think that second one was his fault at all. That was calamity.
The first one, two game weeks ago, ass, just utter ass. We got to fucking get him out of the squad into next year. I can't with that guy. But anyway, I've at least broken him, so we'll continue to hate watch him on the Chelsea team for the next couple game weeks.
Ooh. Yeah, so just coming back to what we're talking about here, I think Liverpool are probably the team of utmost priority, where a lot of managers don't have assets. Salah, Ekitike. I kind of feel like, I take my Chelsea triple up and my Arsenal triple up one more game week, and then, it's a very different strategy. If I then just play the wild card, kind of spraying and praying that I'm going to get lucky into the double game week information, then, maybe I can navigate blank game week 31 without using any free transfers. And then I use the transfers to kind of set up I'm in a position where I don't have free transfers. I don't have any of the teams with good fixture runs coming up. So I'm just trying to maybe take a little bit different of a perspective. Um, I'm not going to make any transfers going into this game week. I feel like I'm reasonably well set up there with the Chelsea triple up home to Burnley. I don't want to mess with that. But then kind of right after the deadline goes, I'm already going to be looking for alternatives for those guys. So maybe just using the wild card to solve it is a kind of differential optimal strategy. You hate that? I see I'm breaking your brain a little bit here.
No, I think you just also have to think about like the double game weeks to come in the future. Like you're going to have to make concessions one way or the other. So I'm just trying to figure out like if you were to play your chips closer to the blanks and doubles later in the season, would you make up those points versus trying to gain now in the short term? So, there's always a give and take. So you got to do what's right for your squad. But yeah, I mean, since you brought Munoz in and you have a few other players that you're going to have to deal with across Arsenal and some Chelsea assets, it's an interesting proposition to be in.
Yeah, I think it would be great if we even had a little more certainty on the doubles. We know which teams will for sure not double. But because the FA Cup is still very much in the weeds and there's no certainty there, it would be kind of taking a shot in the dark and hoping that I get lucky. And FPL is a way of punishing managers who try and get lucky that way.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm in a spot where I have 4 free transfers, and I think I'm going to roll this week, so I'll have 5. So
Wow,
I've
amazing.
used my wild card, right? So I would implore you, if you're going to go for that early game week 28 wild card, that you set yourself up that you're going to be rolling to at least 3 free transfers, 4 free transfers. So you want to make sure that you're going to be happy with your squad, so that you can then prepare for the doubles and blanks later.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
something to think about. For you especially, it's hard to roll those transfers, but you're going to be coming up into key stretches of the season where you're trying to thread the needle and make sure you're in top 100K. So you can't just be making fucking defender transfers like you've been known to do over the last couple game weeks.
Watch yourself, young man.
I'm gonna have to log you out of your app when next time you go on and on about defender transfers.
Oh, I did it to myself.
Baby, just roll.
Yeah, rolling would have been the way. Listen, anyway, I'm inside. I'm on track to have
small variance.
Yeah, I'm on track to have a reasonably successful season. So,
Yep.
right now I'm like 370,000 in the world. Again, that's not great, but if we are just identifying kind of finishing in a certain category with chips left to play with, another 10 game weeks, there's no reason I can't finish in the top 100K unless, I miss a deadline or I totally screw it up. So, it's still all to play for. And that's kind of what the state the Premier League is in also. So it's I think the next couple game weeks, at least in February, are going to be, kind of like tight booty time. You're going to be clenching a little bit, whether you're an Arsenal fan, whether you are a Nottingham Forest fan. There's just a lot of drama at this point in the season, and it's all kicking off. It's great.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, let's answer a few questions here. We got a little bit more time before I got to jump. We're recording on Thursday morning, so I have to get to my first.
You got a long drive ahead of you,
meeting.
babe. God.
Oh, I got to work for another 6 hours, then hit the road to LA. So I got a busy day ahead of me. So let's just go through a couple of questions from our hashtag FPL community. This is not a question, but at FPL_Hunt says, "Fuck this game." I'm right there with you, Connor.
Yeah.
As a man who loves FPL, he is in the millions as well this season. He's having a really rough time.
Yeah, and I think you went Calafiori, right? You went Calafiori in the double game week. Yikes!
I wish I went Calafiori. He scored the same amount of points as fucking Saliba. Worthless sack of shit. Oh my goodness. But yeah, he's a good lad. I think he's got multiple top 10Ks for FPL USA under his belt, and we're struggling. We're struggling. But next question is from at FPL Paz. He wants to know, move for a Brentford mid in 27 or wait for 28? And then what's the plan for Declan Rice? So Declan Rice has a nice price point where you can really get, you could go for Morgan Rogers, you go for Dango, you go for Sade. So I do like that swap in time to help address the upcoming blank game week. So, you just hold on to Rice and hope he gets his 5+ points in the next
Yeah,
week or two.
I would not be selling ahead of the North London derby at Tottenham. Tottenham are a team in disarray. They're actually worse at home than they are on the road.
Who's their new
Arsenal,
manager? Igor who?
Igor, yeah, is they couldn't find anyone in the royal family. They're all going to jail, so they got this Igor guy from the Balkans to play possum. I think Arsenal are gonna win the North London Derby. I think they're gonna keep a clean sheet. I have no urgency to transfer Declan Rice out, and I kind of love that a lot of managers that had him for this double game week are like rushing to move him, because I think he's just as good a pick as he was last game week, and he ended up as the tied for the top scoring Arsenal FPL player. So like, yeah, more of a differential, more points for me. I take it.
Yeah, I think the entry point for Brentford mids is game week 28 when you're away to Burnley.
Yeah, I would wait.
And then you play Bournemouth away, Wolves at home, Leeds away. So although there are 3 away matches, I like that better, and just hold Rice for one more match. So, although to be honest, Arsenal versus Chelsea, I think that one should have some goals in it too. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But even you keep Rice. I would say, if anything, like if you're on triple Arsenal defense, like you and Connor are, right? Probably a bigger priority sell one of those guys before selling Rice.
Yep.
With the way Chelsea are defending set pieces, I mean, there's going to be goals for Arsenal there, I think, from set pieces, and Rice often is involved in those. So I don't know if
Chelsea's going to have to win a 2-1 or 3-2 type of match. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think that Rice is not a priority sell right now. I'd probably want to sell I'd want to sell Timber or Saliba or Hincapie or Calafiori before I sell him. But of course, the fixtures are the fixtures, and Rodgers and Shad and Dango and Ryan, all of those guys have much better fixture tickers when you look at it than Rice does. It's just kind of timing when you're going to jump off the Arsenal ship. So I would keep first for Spurs. They will fully be up for that game. The Wolves result notwithstanding, that's a match that always has both sides geared up to play.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next, wanted to discuss a question from my Cayman fan, aka Matt. He said, Senesi versus Alderete versus Anderson. Who would you start this game week? And it's the SEN, Anderson, from Fulham.
I think Senesi. Senesi at West Ham. Yeah, I think that's the move.
Yeah, West Ham have been getting.
They've been scoring, but I think
because Somerville has been actually flying a bit lately. I know a friend of the pod, their girlfriend Sammy Grady in our Crown Mini League Bucks, she brought Somerville in like 4 weeks ago. It's been crushing. It's like, that's a fun pick. Good for you. You nailed it. Instead of going for Harry Wilson, you went for Somerville, taking all those points to the bank. But yeah, I think
Anderson stinks. Let's say what it is. He's been a horrible pick. Promise of DEFCON, promise. Fulham don't keep clean sheets. He stinks.
Yeah. I'd have to go. I mean, I'd even maybe look at Alderete because they're at your home. You get the home match versus Fulham, whereas like Bournemouth is away, and Fulham would be away as well. So I think I'm gonna go with Alderete.
Okay, we differ in opinion. Let's see. Right. Come back to
this. Next question we have is from at the Run CMC. Holland is flagged. Do we remove him from our sides? No. He's in training, I think. I saw a couple pictures. Should be fine, but maybe they manage his minutes a bit more.
He's been resting since they played last week. He'll be fine. Have no fear. The robots will be here.
All right, there you have it. All right, Bucks, let's go to our transfer plans and captaincy shouts. I got a few more minutes here. I am planning to most likely roll, and then I'm going to make a lot of changes in game week 28. I think I'm going to be looking at maybe Verts, Salah. Might take out Holland. I got to take out some Arsenal defense. So I got some surgery I need to do. But until then, I got little players like James Hill or whatever his fucking first name is. He's going to come in, start for me this week. I might even go bold and play James Justin if I have to, just so I can roll. So, not fussed about it. Captain, haven't looked at it. Who are you captaining?
Wow, I'm really jealous of your team this game week because you will captain Cole Palmer at home versus Burnley.
Oh yeah, that's right. There it is.
Yeah, there
Cole
you
Palmer,
go.
third week in a row. No, fourth week in a row, captain. Let's see, blank, doubled. Yeah, I've captained him twice in the last 3 weeks, so he will be my captain for sure.
Yeah, so I really like the way that sets up for you, and you'll be on 5 free transfers once again.
João Pedro, because he's been fuego, João Fuego.
Yeah, I'm tempted by doing something crazy like that, but right now my plan is to roll the free transfer like I should have done before the double game week. I know, listeners, get out of my DMs. Don't sass me. I'm a grown-ass man, and I do what I want. So I will be captaining Erling Haaland. Right now, I have the vice captain's armband on João Pedro. If we knew that Cole Palmer was starting from the bench, I feel like Enzo Fernandez would 1,000% be my captain because he's so due a haul. The way, if you watch the games, he's everywhere. He's so close. He's getting shots, getting in good positions. He just doesn't have penalties, and Chelsea happen to be getting a lot of penalties right now. João Pedro is 1,000% going to start. So I really think he's not a priority sell either from the Chelsea trio because Rossignol, the new coach, just loves him. I heard from a podcast I listened to that he has met with and spent the most time with the new coach of anyone in the locker room. So I feel like he's one of the first names on that team sheet. But Holland will get it. I think Newcastle will be tired, even though they absolutely dominated the game against Karabag on the road 6-1. They still have to fly back from, who the fuck knows where FC, and then they play against Man City. So that's not great.
Didn't Chelsea lose to Karabag earlier?
Draw 2-2. Yeah, it was
that was a loss.
Not great.
That was a loss for our bank accounts. Let me tell you.
Yeah, big time. My college kids.
What the fuck is a Karabag?
My kids' college fund definitely has that marked as a loss too. So just roll Captain Holland. That's the plan. And I think the big decisions will come ahead of game week 28 after this weekend, where we'll have a full week of context. We'll have some Champions League in the middle. But I think the fixtures really have the swing action starting next game week. So that's where I think I'm going to have to make a decision on pushing my chips in or kind of playing a little cautious.
Alrighty, that's a wrap on the pod. I got to head out to some work meetings. Bucks, good to see you, sir. We'll see you again next week.
Follow us on social, FPL USA Press Play. Also subscribe, give some love to our YouTube channel. We're really looking to grow there. And listen, if you have a spare 10 seconds, you want to follow at FPL USA Bucks or at FPL Brian, we sometimes even make some funny social media posts.
Hit us up. All right, Bucks, we'll be in touch. Good luck this game week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Later. Thanks, everyone.